Yo, 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 what's up? It's your boy Shell, man. Back with you with another update. We got major news on the NBA front. Jaylen Brown saga is finally over. The Boston Celtics have dealt him to the Philadelphia 76ers. For Paul George, two first round picks, 28 28. Clippers first round pick being the crown jewel in the trade. They also get two second round picks. First initial thoughts is wow, the Celtics really screwed this up, man. I mean, Paul George, they were talking about having to give up a first or a couple firsts to get off of his contract. So the fact that they were able to do that and pick up Jaylen Brown is an absolute steal. Um, the Boston Celtics clearly didn't want Jaylen Brown, and I don't think it's anything basketball related. Jaylen Brown, there's a lot of reports saying that, oh, he thinks he's the smartest in the room. Well, I got news for you. Jaylen Brown's a highly educated black individual, and he's going to let you know about it. He is the smartest in the room 10 out of 10 times. And some people feel uncomfortable with that. And I don't think Boston was the place for them, especially with how loud and vocal he is and their past. I'm not going to get super into it, but, Boston has a checkered past, especially with players of a certain race. I don't think that was home for Jaylen Brown. I don't think they ever wrapped their arms around him. I don't think it was basketball related. This guy's a top 10 player, and they basically salary dumped him because they didn't want to give him the extension next season. This is asset mismanagement at its finest for the Boston Celtics. And the Boston Celtics are a tier one organization. I don't know. Brad Stevens, I know he won a championship, but I mean, his predecessor also won a championship, Danny Ainge. And the clock ran out on him. The clock is ticking now on Brad Stevens. You got a former college coach who loves system basketball, who loves analytics, who's willing to trade a top 10 player in the NBA because Paul George is a better catch and shoot player. Get that ish out of here. That is franchise malpractice. This is unfortunate as a Knicks fan because Jaylen Brown moves the needles for the 76ers. The 76ers, obviously, they have Joel Embiid. His health is going to be, in question. But now, as opposed to Paul George and Joel Embiid's health being in question, you no longer have to question that. Jaylen Brown is as reliable as they come. So now you're going to have reliably VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, and Jaylen Brown in Philadelphia next season. That sounds scary even without Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid is an MVP caliber player when healthy. And realistically, everyone's tired of, seeing him mope around in the playoffs and not be healthy for a run. I wouldn't be surprised if Philadelphia had more moves to come. I mean, for Philly, the trade is absolutely ecstatic. I mean, Philly gets an A for a trade, and I'm giving Boston an F, F plus. This is franchise malpractice. There's no way if they didn't wait that they would have got a better deal for Jaylen Brown. This deal was done on July 1st. The season is a long ways away. There is no possible way that this can be an acceptable return for a top 10 player. Rudy Gobert went for 5 picks. Mikal Bridges went for 5 picks. Desmond Bane went for 4 picks. You're telling me Jaylen Brown, you taking on a negative contract in Paul George, and you only get 2 first round picks? You get the Clippers 2028 first round pick? That's what you're heralding? With the new lottery rules? Man, there's immense pressure around Jason Tatum. Immense pressure around Jason Tatum. You just lost your co-host. You lost a guy who's been with you every step of the way of your career. You're coming off of a major injury. You didn't play in Game 7 of the most important game of the season. Nobody's calling you out for it. Everybody put the heat on JB after he made those comments that this was his favorite season ever. And I feel like Jaylen Brown said that because he got to prove some people wrong. He got to prove that I can be the guy. And the reports are is that all Jaylen Brown was expressing is that he's Jason Tatum's equal. You didn't want to treat this man as his equal. You wanted to treat him lesser than, and I got no problem with Jaylen Brown being vocal about that because he doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve that. He was the final MVP when they took it home. He was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Man, miss me with that. Boston is going to miss Jaylen Brown. I understand and talk about retooling the roster. Yeah, Jason Tatum better be an MVP next season. He better win the MVP if the Boston Celtics are going to be competitive. There's absolutely no way. He better be a top 5 MVP candidate because that's what Jaylen Brown was this year. Obviously, I know he finished 6th, but he was top 5 consideration for sure. Jason Tatum better play at that level for the Boston Celtics. And Brad Stevens better find a way to maybe move those picks for another player. And build his team around Jason Tatum, your crown jewel, the guy you wanted to build a team around the whole time, disrespecting Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's going to a big market. He's going to Philadelphia. Now, I mean, imagine a world where Joel Embiid is healthy. That team is absolutely scary. You traded him in the conference. The absolute disrespect that they've shown Jaylen Brown. If I'm a star player, I don't even want to go play for the Celtics. Are you kidding me? Look how they treated this man. Look how they treated this man. No freaking way am I letting them do that to me. This should have a ripple effect across the league. And if I'm Jason Tatum and you up my boy out of here, and he's been quiet this whole time, ain't say a peep, ain't say, hey, I love JT, nothing. Nothing about, he ain't saying nothing, not even come out and support Jaylen Brown. Clearly there was friction there. Clearly he wanted to move on. If Jason Tatum is the crown jewel, the Boston Celtics clearly went up and asked him, hey, we're thinking about moving JB multiple times, and he was okay with it. Because you see, he was the favorite. You see, he was the favorite. This is how it works in the NBA. Don't get it twisted. So there's some real beef between JT and Jaylen Brown that people don't want to acknowledge. And I mean, if people want to say it was brought on by Jaylen Brown, thinking that he's that guy, he's that dog, then so be it, man. There can only be room for one true leader of a team. There is no 1A and 1B. It's 1 and 2. And Jaylen Brown's a 1. And I think he could be a 1 for the 76ers, especially at Joel Embiid's point in his career. Tyrese Maxey's ascendant, but he's not at the level that Jaylen Brown is. Jaylen Brown's their best player right now. So he gets to go be the guy, and he's surrounded by a squad. So he is about to make you look foolish in a conference against a major rival. With a major rival, excuse me. Man, if I'm Jaylen Brown, this is everything I want. This is everything I want. I get to go compete against them. I ain't ducking no smoke. Still, this man didn't request a trade. After you put him in trade talks over and over, he just wanted to be Jason Tatum's equal. And you guys just viewed him as less than. This is a sad day for Boston, man. This is a sad day. People are comparing this to the Luka trade. I don't think it's as bad. Because I don't think, if you're not going to give him the extension, if you're not going to give Jaylen Brown the extension next year, he's going to request a trade. So, doing this a year early, you think you could get maximum value. I think they got the opposite of that. I think the media campaign that they let Jaylen Brown go under and to not come to his defense, there's no way he could be back on that team. And I'm pulling for Jaylen Brown, man. I want to see him do well. I want to see him stick it to the Celtics because he was done dirty, man. He was done dirty. Jaylen Brown is an incredibly smart, like one-of-one mind and a one-of-one basketball player. And it's rare. And he's a rare individual. And he doesn't need to be where he's not appreciated, man. If I'm Jaylen Brown, man, I'm happy for this move. You get to instantly compete with the Knicks. People saying they're not there with the Knicks. Listen, man, Tyrese Maxey is that guy. I believe in Tyrese Maxey. I know VJ Ekholm is going to be one of those dudes. And then you add Jaylen Brown. I'm not even counting Joel Embiid, man. Joel Embiid, I wouldn't be surprised if Philly tried to get off of that contract, dump him somewhere, and get a more solid big, because I'd be happy playing with those three guys. And defensively, they're going to get after it if Embiid is healthy. Oh, Lord, man. Oh, Lord. As a Knicks fan, I'm not happy. As a Knicks fan, I'm not happy. But I'm happy for Jaylen Brown as a basketball fan. I hope he gets his. And, I'm not that I'm wishing the Celtics, you know, bad luck or that they perform poorly. I just think that they will, in fact, miss Jaylen Brown. I know they're going to retool the roster. And, they think building around Jason Tatum is going to make them better. They think Jaylen Brown was redundant to Jason Tatum. I heard so many times they're minus 10 with Jaylen Brown on the court. Analytics. Well, let's see what happens now when he's not on the court for you guys this season. Because I think the way they did him was absolutely, positively dirty. But listen, man, that's just my thoughts. Just wanted to give you all the update. I think JB was the big move, man. He's shifting the power to the East, man. The Sixers, they're right up there with the Knicks, man. In fact, as a Knicks fan, I'm scared to say this, but I think they're the top contender. I think they're the top contender with Jaylen Brown. I said this in an earlier video when I talked about, the fallout from them going after Giannis. Jaylen Brown is the piece that shifts the league. Everyone's saying it's LeBron James. I don't think it's LeBron James at this point. I think it's Jaylen Brown. I think he shifted. There's a lot of talent in the East. If I'm LeBron, I'm staying out west. I'm going to compete against these young boys in a playoff series. I'm going to Golden State, teaming up with Steph Curry. I got championship DNA, and I'm taking my talents to San Francisco, up the Bay, and I'm doing that. If the Wizards are willing to play ball and trade Anthony Davis, now they said that they're not willing to trade him. I mean, is AD willing to play for him? This is if the Wizards want to play hardball, I don't think they're in a position to play hardball. But overall, Jaylen Brown, I think the league has shifted. Philly right now is the favorite in the East. It's a sad day for Celtics fans, man. I feel for y'all. Man. I feel like you guys just got the heart of your team stripped away from you over egos. All right, well, anyways, y'all, cutting this a little bit long. I'm going to let y'all go. It's your boy Shell with another video. If you like it, subscribe, leave a comment, and leave a thumbs up. Peace, y'all.